This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, a former Athens fire chief accused of sexually assaulting a minor appeared in court this afternoon.
Our Matthew Jurancic starts us off tonight.
Sean Boyd appeared in Skowhegan District Court Monday afternoon. The former Athens fire chief is charged with sexual assault against a child. During the brief court session, which lasted just 3 minutes, Justice Robert Mullen read Boyd the charges and potential punishment.
Count 1 is punishable up to 30 years in prison, and count 2 is punishable up to 10 years.
Boyd was arrested on July 1st after allegedly sexually assaulting a 9-year-old between January and December of 2014. After posting a $2,500 bail and being released the same day, Boyd was ordered to not be in contact with the victim or anyone under the age of 18. However, Boyd's defense attorney, Andrew Ketterer, is expected to file a motion to appeal this.
I had some discussion with the state's attorney about a modification with supervision so that the defendant could see his own children in a supervised setting.
Justice Mullen questioned the move, saying he wants to hear the names and ages of Boyd's kids before making a decision. Mr. Boyd is set to appear in court again on September 21st at 9 a.m., where a deposition conference will be held. In studio, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Meanwhile, a Patton man is facing several charges in connection with burglaries in Aroostook County. According to state police, around 7:30 a.m. on July 12th, Trooper Hunter Cotton responded to a house in Sherman after the homeowner reported multiple tools and other items had been taken. Trooper Cotton later found the alleged suspect sleeping in his car at his residence. When Trooper Cotton knocked on the window to wake up 19-year-old Braden Grant of Patton, he saw a small baggie of suspected methamphetamine in plain view. The trooper also saw multiple tools in the car and the front yard. When police searched the home, they found more than $2,000 worth of stolen goods and other household items. Grant was charged with burglary, theft, and possession of drugs. State police say items belonging to a burglarized camp in Sherman were also found at Grant's residence. Grant allegedly confessed to burglarizing the camp and stealing a majority of the items. He was charged with burglary, theft, and criminal mischief for that case.
Well, the Kennebec County Grand Jury has indicted a New York man in connection with a stabbing. 26-year-old Hector Rivera was arrested following a stabbing on Main Avenue in Farmingdale in June. The 31-year-old victim was taken to Maine General Medical Center. According to court records, Rivera was found about an hour later and was taken into custody after a struggle with a police canine. He was taken to the hospital to be treated for wounds. Rivera has been indicted on numerous charges, including aggravated assault, drug possession, and refusing to submit to arrest.
The state fire marshal's office says a fire in Orrington on Saturday that destroyed a home was accidental. And the Orrington Fire Department responded to the scene on Island View Drive just before 7 p.m. A resident of the home told us all family members made it out safely, but the family's dog was missing. Multiple fire departments assisted on scene, including Brewer, Eddington, Hamden, and Bucksport. A fire marshal's office spokesperson says they believe the fire was accidental and started from a cell phone charger.
Well, the Camden Fire Department was busy over the weekend fighting 2 separate fires. Crews were called to a house fire at 110 Beloin Road Saturday morning after the homeowners were woken up by their fire alarms around 3 a.m. Fire Chief Chris Farley says Gary and Lisa Fowley opened their bedroom door to discover smoke in their main living room. The chief says Lisa became disoriented after inhaling some of the smoke and fumes, and she stumbled down a flight of stairs, breaking bones in her arm and wrist.
The investigator from the fire marshal's office said it was a miracle that we didn't have 1, if not 2 fatalities from that fire. And it's directly attributed to the smoke detectors giving them early warning and sleeping with their bedroom doors closed.
Chief Farley says the house fire may have been caused by electrical power strips in the living room. Also on Sunday, Camden firefighters were called to a kitchen fire at Blaze Restaurant on Bayview Landing around 5 p.m. Chief Farley says workers noticed a fire smoldering behind a shelf that was improperly installed underneath a hood vent in the kitchen. Officials opened the wall up to put out the fire. The restaurant is closed until the Department of Health gives them the okay to reopen.
Governor Mills announced more than $22 million in funding from the Maine Jobs and Recovery Plan to support wastewater infrastructure projects across the state on Monday. Many of the 160 municipal wastewater facilities across Maine were built 40 to 50 years ago. Stakeholders say it's time to rejuvenate these facilities to produce cleaner and safer water. Infrastructure improvements would include updates to sewer lines and pump stations.
It's important to support the economy because wastewater from businesses, whether it's office buildings or restaurants or what have you, within a community, that needs to be treated properly. And so in order to sustain that in a community, you need to have good infrastructure.
Kavanaugh notes there will be several projects taking place that could take months or years to complete.
Monday, Maine's largest law enforcement agency officially endorsed former Governor Paul LePage. Our A.J. Douglas heard from union members to find out why.
Maine's Lodge of Fraternal Order of Police officially announced their endorsement for Paul LePage Monday. After several meetings and negotiations, each union unit ultimately voted to endorse LePage prior to November's governor election. Union President Matt Nato says members were pleased with the LePage administration's efforts. Nato noted decreases in crime while LePage was the governor.
We know that under his leadership, they're going to continue to drop. Now, if you look at his crime statistics when he was governor, his administration, they were a significantly greater decrease than we're seeing today.
Governor LePage says he is grateful for the FOP's endorsement. LePage spoke on the current opioid epidemic, claiming he plans to open 2 detox centers if elected. He also says he would support sobriety programs offered to individuals arrested for crimes connected to drug abuse.
The officers come in and say, there's a path out of jail. You go detox, you get clean. And if you stay clean for a year, we'll expunge your record. Give them a second chance at life. And the problem right now is carrying a felony gives them very little path to a successful future.
LePage criticized the Mills administration's efforts, claiming it did not support officers, but also stated that if elected, he would not repeal all of her efforts. Governor Mills' administration released a statement following Monday's FOP endorsement, stating in part, quote, "As governor, she has increased funding for the Maine Department of Public Safety by $34 million and the Maine State Police by $10 million. She has added new positions to the state police and other law enforcement agencies, including the Maine Warden Service and Marine Patrol. And she has worked with Republicans, Democrats, and independents to deliver more resources to municipalities," end quote. In Augusta, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
So we certainly felt a relief from some of the heat yesterday.
Yeah.
This weekend was definitely a scorcher.
Yeah.
So today, at least for some of us, we definitely felt a little decrease there in the heat for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And we talked about it. Our apartments, just both of them, or places of residence, very, very warm, humid.
Yeah.
Hard to fall asleep really in those conditions. So
Yeah.
I think, a little bit of cool down really helped us today.
Absolutely, and your electricity bill as well, cranking that AC. All right, well, with a little bit more on what we can expect, at least in the coming hours, let's take a first look at our forecast.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Monday. Your first weather is brought to you by Kings Mountain RC. And let's start here. The severe weather threat is there still, although the threat is winding down now. We have a watch in place here by 8 o'clock or so, with storms out there currently across our region. Now, there's nothing severe in here right now, but still, there could be a couple of these that get a little squirrely tonight with some gusty winds, some small hail, and a wind shift out of the west. Then it's all going to move through tonight, and then tomorrow, cooler air is on the way, or at least less humid air, with temperatures still, though, back in the 80s. Today, though, look, we did rain-cooled air today, right? 78 here in Bangor. That's refreshing. Also from Millinocket. Tomorrow, though, most likely back in the 80s. Our forecast then tonight, though, is mostly clear skies after midnight with low temperatures down in the 60s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter?
All righty, Jeff, thanks so much. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. After more than 5 years, the Forest Society of Maine announces the completion of its Coburn Gore Forest Conservation Project.
And a look at the history of the second oldest operating post office in the U.S., located right here in Maine. Those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
When it comes to finding the right health insurance for your small business, it can feel like you're the only one looking out for the well-being of your team. But when you partner with a nonprofit health insurer who not only understands your needs as a business owner, but puts your people over their profits, it allows your business to keep doing what it does best. With a team who can take comfort in knowing they're cared for, people over profits. Now that's a novel idea. Get a quote from your broker or visit healthoptions.org.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months plus $500 purchase allowance on a 2022 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6.
Visit your local Cadillac dealer today.
People with plaque psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis are rethinking the choices they make, like the splash they create, the way they exaggerate, or the surprises they initiate. Otezla, it's a choice you can make. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, you can achieve clearer skin with Otezla. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. Otezla can cause serious allergic reactions. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes & More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6E and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual, or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes & More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back. The Forest Society of Maine has announced the completion of the Coburn Gore Forest Conservation Project after more than 5 years of fundraising and planning. The project will protect more than 8,500 acres of forest lands and the wildlife that relies on it and lives in it, including bears, moose, hawks, and others. To complete the project, the Forestry Society raised more than $4 million in public and private funds. Forest Society of Maine's president, Karen Tilburg, talked about what the project means for the state.
This Coburn Gore project is so important for all of Maine. It will help protect the headwaters that form the watershed. So by keeping the forest lands intact and undeveloped, that will ensure pristine water in this entire watershed.
The protected land was gifted by the family who has owned it since 1970.
Meanwhile, the second oldest post office in operation in the U.S. is located in Castine, and its charm and beauty have only shined brighter with each passing year. And as our Jody Hersey tells us, the residents of Castine are proud of their historic landmark and are more than happy to share their pride with anyone who stops by.
It's just a beautiful building.
Originally built in 1817, this architectural wonder on Main Street in Castine was created to be the registry of deeds for the county courthouse and also home to a bank. According to the Castine Historical Society's executive director, the federal government purchased this property in 1833 to use as a post office and customs house when the courthouse moved to Ellsworth.
This was a major thoroughfare for all the shipping going up and down and all over the world.
Over the years, the government has tried to get rid of this landmark.
That was in the 1960s and then again in the 1990s. Both cases, huge protests, so much of an outcry, made national news that the federal government had to back off.
Now, the Castine Post Office proudly holds the title of second oldest post office in operation in the U.S., behind the post office in Hillsdale, New Hampshire.
I rent the old Customs House part of the building, and it's one of the most beautiful spaces in all of town. I just love the shape and quality of the space. It's got 14-foot high ceilings that are sort of coffered on the top, so they all curve in. And they just create a wonderful open feel to the whole space.
Professional designer Ted Lemire and postmaster Douglas Terry get the chance to work in this beautiful building each week.
I just love the art, the historic part of it. The people are so great. It's a great town, and it just all comes together as one.
Folks in Castine say this is more than an historic building. They say the post office is the heart and soul of this community.
This is really the community gathering place. You come here, you get your mail, you get all the gossip.
And whether you have a letter to mail or not, residents here say stopping by this well-loved landmark is worth a visit. In Castine, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC7 and Fox 22.
It's no wonder that Maine is a state that works so hard to preserve its history because there is so much of it around to look at and enjoy.
Yeah, and really cool to see both the outside and the inside of that building. You can tell there are lots of history there as well.
It must be so neat to live around landmarks like that, to be able to look up and realize how long that building has been there, long before you were ever there.
Yeah, I often really do that just looking at homes around this area.
Same,
realizing how long ago they were built. It's
absolutely.
Very, very cool.
All right, well, there is still more to come on ABC 7 News at 6. A Newport native has created a true crime podcast shedding light on cold cases from Maine and other parts of New England.
And in sports, we'll hear from J.C. Christopher for the first time since joining Maine women's basketball. We'll have that story right after the break.
Ladies, a Maine adventure.
Fans.
Check.
Charging cables?
Check.
Earbuds?
Check.
Extension cords?
Check.
Storage items?
Check.
Tea kettles?
Check.
We have everything for your dorm. Get to Rennie's.
We got it all.
Land Shark Locker and Margaritaville Tequila present Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band. Life on the Flip Side Tour 2022 Redux. One night only at Maine Savings Amphitheater, August 2nd. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band, August 2nd. Presented by Margaritaville Tequila and Land Shark Lager.
The world is full of make or break moments, especially if you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture. It's time to make your move to help reduce your risk of fracture with Prolia. Only Prolia is proven to help strengthen and protect bones from fracture with one shot every 6 months.
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Xgeva. Serious allergic reactions like low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Speak to your doctor before stopping, skipping, or delaying Prolia, as spine and other bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects like low blood calcium, serious infections, which could need hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain.
Don't wait for a break. Call your doctor now and ask how Prolia can help you.
Dine on the deck with a delicious view at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub, now open. Experience outdoor dining at its finest 7 days a week with award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. Dining on the deck at Ryan's Pub is an unforgettable culinary experience you'll want to share with your family, friends, business partners, or that special someone. Your next visit to the Lucerne Inn will feel like the first all over again.
With so much at stake, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 newscast and the #1 program on television.
Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes.
All summer, it's been an absolute privilege to have Maine football senior Jack Webb intern here with the Fox Bangor Sports Department. Now, for myself and Tyler Cruz, this is all we do, but that is not the case for Jack. No, he comes in here after grinding out 6 a.m. summer football workouts, and he still brings the energy and enthusiasm. He's covered state championship games. He's put together multiple stories. I'll be honest, he's gotten us a couple cups of coffee. But now on his last day with us, it's time for the final test. Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time, here's Jack Webb live with sports.
Welcome back, and tonight we start in Orono. Now to the transfer from Boston University is official. Skowhegan grad J.C. Christopher is officially a Black Bear. Dave Peck has the story.
I'm a Maine kid at heart, so just to be out here with Maine across my chest and playing with the kids here, it's been great.
For the first time in over a decade, a Miss Maine basketball winner is officially a Black Bear.
JC is the epitome of what our program stands for. Great student, great person, great work ethic, wonderful basketball player. Everything, she checks every box.
On Monday, J.C. Christopher checked into the pit for the first time since transferring from Boston University.
It means everything to me to be able to represent our state and represent my community and have my community back home be able to come and support me and just be able to and also give back to my community.
Today was her first day of workouts, and she's so coachable, and it's great to have her here.
Even before reporting to BU this summer, Christopher was already questioning her initial decision.
I really should have gone to Maine. I had regrets about it before.
Part of that doubt began to surface after a shakeup within the BU coaching staff.
When the coaches left, because I had committed to them, and so having them leave, that was a big change for me.
From there, Christopher said it really just came down to fit.
I thought maybe when I got there, everything would work out and it'd be fine, and I'd love it, and it'd all work out, but that wasn't really the case.
Now, after going through the official transfer process, the Skowhegan grad finds herself back home in an environment and culture she's known all her life.
I've been coming to games since I was little, and just everything about the program is just top notch. So, the culture, the coaches, everything about it is just amazing.
So great to see the now fellow Black Bear, Christopher, in the blue and white. Now, on to the only good news involving the Red Sox from this past weekend. The National Baseball Hall of Fame inducted its class of 2022 in Cooperstown on Sunday, and headlining that class was Boston's number 34, David Ortiz. Big Papi is the first ever career designated hitter to be selected on their first ballot. Ortiz spent 14 of his 20 MLB seasons with the Sox, where he helped bring 3 titles to Boston. He was known for his clutch hits in 2004, the Grand Slam in 2013, and of course his speech after the Boston Marathon. But he credits his growth not only as a player, but more importantly as a person to the Red Sox, as well as the city of Boston.
That organization made me the man that I am today. They educate me about the game, but they also educate me about my life. Community service, connecting with people, the Jimmy Fund, the Children Fund. That's why I started the David Ortiz Children Fund.
Such a deserving honor for Big Papi. And that is all for sports tonight. That is also a wrap on my summer internship. I cannot thank Dave and Tyler enough for taking me under their wing, showing me everything they know, as well as the Fox ABC staff here just welcoming me with open arms. Now, here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast.
All right, thank you. Your full weather is brought to you by Varney Chevrolet. Come see what the Varney value is all about, and we are watching some showers and a couple thunderstorms out there still. This is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect by 8 o'clock or so. And there are some weather areas out there to be worried about tonight, as we have some severe weather across our area. Mostly some gusty winds and small hail, but overall we'll see a wind shift tonight, and this is all kind of quieting down now as the back edge working through the area as we speak. And then tomorrow we have much nicer weather on the way. We're actually going to see some sunshine tomorrow with temperatures hanging out back in the 80s. Futurecast shows the story though. So the bulk of the rain gets out of here before midnight tonight, and then here's tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock or so. We're talking about lots of sunshine coming through, and there may be a sprinkle throughout the day tomorrow. Most of us will stay dry. Our next chance for good rain not getting in here probably till Thursday or Friday, before the weekend as a dry stretch is on the way again after we get through the storms out there right now, which could be locally strong. So rainfall going forward, not a lot, right? These are very quick moving storms out there currently. If you get under one, though, you can see a quick quarter-inch of rainfall before it quickly moves off to the east-northeast this evening. So here's a bigger picture. So round one's coming through right now. There it is. Round two, though, this system here will combine with that system there to bring us some more rainfall on Thursday. We could use the rainfall, as you know, as we've been a bit dry around here. So overall, kind of an active weather pattern out there right now. The wind today out of the south generally, except near thunderstorms, near 7 to 10 miles per hour, keeping it a bit colder right along the coast today with that sea breeze. But overall, that will shift out of the west later on tomorrow. And then here we are. Temperatures today, this is the big change, right? Highs only in the 70s today. That's refreshing after many highs in the 90s. We got back in the 70s today, but 80s are back in the forecast for us tomorrow. So our forecast end tonight, though, is rain showers out there now will be ending shortly, most likely the next hour or two, and then clearing skies after midnight with low temperatures down near 60. There could be some dense fog after midnight as the air goes calm for a couple hours tonight. For tomorrow, here we go. So partly cloudy skies and breezy and noticeably less humid tomorrow. High temperatures back up near 83 again, I know, but still it will not feel as hot tomorrow as it has recently with that west wind that could gust near 25 through the afternoon. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast by Varney Chevrolet shows tomorrow 83, 84 getting warmer on Wednesday, partly cloudy skies and more humid Wednesday as well. And then 84 for Thursday, mostly cloudy. There could be a late day rain shower on Thursday. Definitely rain showers back in the forecast for Friday with high temperatures near 82. Beth?
And our sincere thanks to Jack for all of his hard work this summer and for just being an incredibly positive presence in our newsroom. He's been awesome. We expect to see big things from him.
Yeah, bringing some big energy on air, too, but also behind the scenes, the same in the newsroom, as you hinted to.
Yeah.
He's been a great addition, and he will go far in the future. That is for sure.
Yeah, we're going to miss him. All right, well, there is still more to come right after the break. Stay with us.
If you think you have Dupuytren's contracture, there's a simple test you can take. From anywhere, try to lay your hand flat against the surface. If you can't, you may have Dupuytren's contracture. Talk to a hand specialist about your options, including non-surgical treatments.
Al, did you make that call?
Honey, we already have Medicare. Why do I need to call?
Alan, the Feldman said we may be able to get additional benefits with a Medicare Advantage plan right here in our zip code with $0 monthly premiums.
Honey, what do you mean additional benefits? We turned 65, we got Medicare. That's all there is to it, right?
I'm talking about Medicare Part C, commonly called Medicare Advantage. We have traditional Medicare, which is only Medicare Parts A and B, but not Part C.
Wait. So not everyone on Medicare is a Part C plan?
No, that's why we need to call, because there may be plans available with additional benefits that aren't covered under Medicare Parts A and B. We don't have a Medicare Part C plan which covers everything in Part A and Part B plus extra benefits in Medicare Part C.
What kind of extra benefits?
There are great plans that may be available with extra benefits like dental, vision, and hearing.
Did you say dental?
Yes, dental. Medicare Part C plans could include dental benefits that help cover routine dental exams and teeth cleanings, plus dental x-rays, fillings, gum disease treatment, and dentures.
We need that. I'm calling.
If you don't have a Medicare Part C plan, call now because there may be plans with additional benefits available that are simply not covered under Medicare Parts A and B, like routine dental coverage. If you're on Medicare, you can call even if you called last year. We will check to see if there is a Part C plan available in your area with additional benefits. You don't get a plan with additional benefits automatically. If you're losing coverage, moving, or new to Medicare, call to speak with a licensed insurance agent. Remember, you don't get Medicare Part C benefits automatically. Call now for your free 2022 no-obligation Medicare benefits review. Call 800-413-8094. 800-413-8094.
Tonight, President Biden isolates with COVID as the virus surges. Plus, what the former president was doing as the violence unfolded. What happens next? More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched program on all of television.
Welcome back. Newport native Kristen Seavey has created a true crime podcast with her community in mind. Coined Murder, She Told, the podcast sheds light on cold cases from Maine, New England, and elsewhere. Unlike other true crime shows, Seavey says she writes her stories to honor the victims' lives and preserve history rather than exploit murders just for entertainment value.
You listen to all the big shows and you rarely ever hear Maine on true crime podcasts. Maine rarely makes national news, and there are just so many cases here that I think really need that attention that are still unsolved. So I wanted to create something that served the community that needs it. And I like to tell the story of the victim and the victim's life and not just the last few moments of their life.
Murder, She Told team consists of a small part-time research group alongside Seavey and her boyfriend. But despite the small team, the stories are gaining interest far and wide. Murder, She Told has previously been ranked in the top 10 on Apple Podcasts. And to learn more, you can go to murdershetold.com. Very interesting to hear that those stories are gaining a lot of attention on the national scale, and that they're happening right here in Maine, too.
And she's right. You don't often hear those Maine cases on a national scale, so good that they will in the future.
Absolutely.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.